We're learning more tonight about the theft of historic artifacts in Atlantic Canada. Police are still trying to trace the rightful owners of over 2,500 items that were seized from a home in January. And as Global National's Ross Lord discovered, the prime suspect has international ties to Russia.
Until now, little has been known about John Tillman's activities as a self-proclaimed art dealer. RCMP alleged Tillman stole a trove of artifacts from museums and galleries throughout Atlantic Canada, valued at more than $1 million. But at this art gallery in Halifax, there's a file that might help unlock the mystery.
So the one that was ripped off from you, is it around that size?
About that, yes.
Owner Ian Muncaster says Tillman bought a ship's portrait 14 years ago, paying for half on a credit card, with the remaining $3,500 to be charged to his account later.
When I put it through the following month, it was declined.
Muncaster's encounter suggests Tillman was operating far beyond Canada's east coast.
He told me that he was I think, a Canadian trader operating out of Moscow, buying and selling and that sort of thing.
These documents, forgotten until Tillman's arrest in January, contained faxes and letters from a Russian address.
I mentioned that to the police, and they said actually there were in his papers photographs of himself in Moscow.
Muncaster says the Mounties haven't come to see this evidence. Surprising until you consider they've got their hands full with an ever-growing stash of artifacts. At the time of Tillman's arrest, they'd seized about 1,000 antiques. Today, that number has almost tripled.
We're into well over 2,500 items seized, and people might say, well, 2,500 is 2,500, but what's significant is that each of those items can become an investigation in themselves.
Among the rare artifacts believed stolen is an early edition of Charles Darwin's classic On the Origin of Species. Already seized is a 1758 letter from British General James Wolfe just before the attack on the French at Louisbourg, and a letter from U.S. President George Washington leading up to the 1775 American Revolution. Collectors say those three items combined could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, right now we do have 2 people charged.
RCMP won't identify the alleged accomplice, but sources confirm it's Tillman's 23-year-old son, Kyle. Charges against him include possession of stolen property. The RCMP has posted many of the artifacts on its website, hoping the public can help identify them, a process now expected to take more than a year. Ross Lord, Global News, Halifax.